In the play-by-play, the voice of the SMU Mustangs, Rich Phillips, here on BYU Sports Nation. Rich, great to have you on the program.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be on with you.
Well, it's going to be a fun matchup. We're excited about it. When we heard SMU was the opponent, we were excited, and certainly should be a fun one. We thought perhaps we might have a shootout, but we'll see if Jaron Hall plays. Sounds like he may not. But what are you expecting, and what do you like in this matchup?
Still expect there to be a lot of offense, regardless of who's in at quarterback and who's in. You know, we know wide receiver Rashee Rice is out for SMU in this game on Saturday, but SMU's defense hasn't done a lot of stopping teams this year either. So I suspect maybe the attack is different from BYU, but I still suspect there to be a lot of points scored in this game.
Now, Rich, Tanner Mordecai has been awesome. He's thrown for 31 touchdowns this year, only 9 interceptions, but he won't have his favorite target. So how much of an impact does Rashee Rice not playing have on the SMU offense?
Obviously huge. I mean, the guy led the nation in receiving yards per game. He's up there top 5 in receptions this season as well. That's a big difference. Plus, his presence changes things for everybody else, too. It helps open up other guys. So that's been his security blanket all season. They've got Jordan Curley, who's really started to step up here in the second half of the season, who's probably going to be your primary guy. And then watch out for their tight end, R.J. Maryland. He's a true freshman who's had a really solid season. He's top 10 in the country in receiving touchdowns among tight ends. I expect he's going to be a real busy target here on Saturday night.
Yeah, 6 is a fantastic number, especially in that freshman season. Jalen Thomas on the offensive line is out as well. Anybody else out that will affect this game, in your opinion?
One other wide receiver, Jalen Goffney, who's a little further down the depth chart, but he has been starting some. He'll be out. His production's been up and down over the season. They've got several other guys that are ready to fill in that spot. Defensively, pretty much everybody should be good to go on Saturday.
Rich, when you look at the BYU defense, how do you see SMU's offense matching up a Cougar defense that has certainly dealt with some injuries, and they've given up some yards and points this year?
Yeah, that's, you know, looking at their defense, I think that's a big opportunity for SMU in this game. They have the challenge without Rashee Rice, but they have been very dynamic offensively all season. Starts with the quarterback. Running the ball's been a little bit of a piecemeal thing, but they've kind of hit on a fullback, Tyler Levine, here in the last 4 or 5 weeks, who has really come on to be the leading rusher, lead him in touchdowns. Really tough guy, tough running back. So that's who they'll use primarily in the run game. But Tanner Mordecai, I'm sure will find some places to pick apart in this defense on Saturday.
Yeah, Levine's 9 touchdowns and only 9 yards lost on the season. Impressive numbers. Defensively, as you mentioned, hey, neither team gonna circle this year as a banner year defensively in the 100+ in most categories that matter. Do you see this being a, hey, you got to outshoot the other team kind of game? Because in our opinion for BYU, it may be the Stanford kind of game where, hey, you may need to control the clock if Jaron Hall's not the quarterback.
Yeah, I know they certainly will look to run the ball a lot more, but SMU's games this year have been who's going to get that last score and maybe that 1 or 2 stops. I mean, they gave up 63 in a game this year and won 77-63 over Houston. Oddly enough, they won because of what their defense did. They had 3 interceptions, and it was the 3 stops, including the last play of the game, basically. And last game they played here in the regular season against Memphis, again, kind of a shootout, 34-31, I think was the final, but it was an interception in the last minute of the game that sealed the game for SMU. So while their defense gives up a ton, they have had several moments where they've come up with that big play or that big turnover to finish things off.
Incredible. It's not often you give up 63 and win by 14. That is just an uncanny number. Rich, when you look at the SMU defense, we mentioned that BYU is probably going to try and run the ball. What is SMU's run defense like, and how would you assess it at this point?
They have struggled to stop the run this year. They've changed some things lately against a few teams that run the ball more, like Tulane. Certainly when they played Navy, and they played more of a traditional 4-3. Their base defense has been the 4-2 nickel, like most everybody else has gone to, but they've gone with a little more of a traditional 4-3. They are missing a key part there. Their nose tackle, Terrence Newman, suffered a leg injury in the Tulane game, lost for the rest of the year, so they've had to kind of fill that gap there. Elijah Chapman, though, a really tough inside defensive tackle for them, very strong, too, who can help against that run. But I suspect we might see a little more 4-3 than normal out of the SMU defense in this one.
Yeah, that pass rush, which has been good enough for 27.5 sacks against only 12 allowed for BYU, could be a storyline in this one as well. I look at the seasons, obviously same record going in to the postseason, but 5-2 the last 7. Those 2 lost, a close one to Cincy, and then Tulane was awesome. Things have changed for SMU. What changed the last 7?
Some of it, I think, had to do with the opponents they were playing. I mean, in their uneven start, and they're in the middle part of the season, they lost 3 in a row, but they lost at Maryland, they lost to TCU. We know what they've gone on to do. And then they lost to UCF, who was playing for the league championship. Once they got out of that is when they started to find themselves a little bit. So I think largely some of it had to do just with the schedule that they had played along the way, and they've gotten a few pieces going offensively as well. But scheduling definitely makes a big difference for where things have gone this season.
He is the SMU play-by-play man. Rich Phillips is on BYU Sports Nation. Rich, do you feel like 30 points is enough to win this game between SMU and BYU, or is it going to require more?
You know, it's hard to say. I would have said a week ago, no, 30's not enough. Given the quarterback situation for BYU, maybe it is the first to 30. Also missing a key part in Rashee Rice. I guess I'll say yes, 30. First one to 30, I think, might be the one that wins on Saturday night.
That could be interesting. And it was the first one to like 46 in 1980. I want to ask you about that game, and certainly they played a couple other games, but that is called the Miracle Bowl by BYU fans. There's a name for that game. Obviously, BYU fans know what it is. How is that game perceived or remembered, or maybe it's not by SMU fans?
It is remembered. It's loathed, I think, by some SMU fans, as it should be. You're up 45, 45-25 with 2.5 minutes to play. That should be a win. I did a little swim down YouTube on that game this week to relive some of the highlights, or lowlights as they were, although there were plenty of highlights for SMU too, and it's amazing how different the teams were then than they are now. I mean, obviously with Jim McMahon, BYU was kind of out of character for that era of football, throwing it everywhere. And SMU ran for nearly 400 yards in that game. Maybe we'll see the opposite coming up this week. But definitely it's one that has been remembered for 42 years here for SMU fans.
Clearly, the SMU Pony Express was rolling along at that juncture of the SMU program history. Now we are hearing that SMU has worked their way back up to maybe just being on the outskirts of an invitation to the Pac-12. Certainly they want to get back into a Power 5 conference. Rich, how likely is that scenario that SMU is back in a Power 5 and maybe in the Pac-12 if they decide to expand?
I kind of think that they're at the top of a few lists for leagues that are looking to add teams, because partly there's not a whole lot left out there. Also, a program that's been on the rise here over the last decade or so. Their basketball program has had some good showings in the last decade or so. Facilities have made huge improvements, and they're making more to them here at SMU. The market size, obviously, too, of Dallas-Fort Worth has to be appealing to any conference. So the Pac-12 certainly is one we have heard a lot about. I'm still not convinced the Big 12's done on adding teams, because I don't know if anybody knows what the number is now of how many teams you need to be successful. They're just kind of sitting and waiting right now, but Pac-12 is the one that we've heard the most about here in recent months. And certainly,
Brett Yormark saying we're open for business. Hey, that means more teams are coming at some point, you'd think. I did want to ask you about Cade Fennegan, a guy that we're getting to know better. Boise State transfer, perhaps the starter coming up Saturday. He went to Woodrow Wilson High School. That's 11 minutes from SMU's campus. What's the dynamic of that high school in the area? And he had great success there.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know a lot about him before getting ready for this game. He went to Boise State, obviously, first. It's one of a number of high schools, obviously, within close proximity to SMU. I do know that Finnegan is the all-time winningest quarterback at Woodrow Wilson High School, and I believe their all-time leading passer. So he had a pretty good run there his last couple of years when he was at Wilson.
Rich, let's finish with this. How would you assess the overall fan base for SMU and the excitement around the programs right now?
It's definitely been on the rise. Really, Sonny Dykes had a lot to do with it the 4 years prior to this, prior to leaving in a bit of a cloud as well, going across town to TCU. But he really, put the program back into the top 25 over the last several years. This season, they opened receiving votes in the coaches poll the first couple of weeks before some early losses. Definitely, it's helped increase the fan interest. I think a change of conferences, if it does come, is going to help increase that fan interest even more.
Well, Rich, we appreciate the insight and the time. We look forward to a fun game. Perhaps a shootout, perhaps not. Perhaps 1980, perhaps not. Rich, thanks for the time.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.